Hello, and welcome back to Unhelpful Yoda. Today we are on YGO.org, where they have just announced new Dark Magician support for Battle of Chaos, the next core booster set. Comes out after Burst of Destiny. Um, and you can see the cover card is a Dark Magician-esque fusion. Let's read some effects. So we have Magi-Kuriboh, level 1 Dark Fiend, Kuriboh stats. You can only use this card's names first set, so hard once per turn. During the main or battle phase, if you took battle damage or damage from an opponent's card effect, this turn, quick effect, you can send this card from hand to the graveyard, special summon one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your deck or graveyard. If a face-up spellcaster monster you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. I mean, that's neat. It's basically just Kuriboh, but it summons a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, and it recycles itself. Um, Summoning from deck or graveyard is cute because, if at the very least, if you don't have any more in your deck, you can still summon it from the graveyard. But it doesn't seem like anything super good or super special. It seems more like a fan servicey card than an actual good for the Dark Magician deck card. Like I don't see this seeing any play, not any serious play anyway. Dimension Conjurer. That kind of looks like that spell card, and that makes sense. So it searches it. Okay, you can only use this card name for it's a hard once per turn. If this card is no more special summon, you can add one magical dimension from your deck to their or graveyard to your hand. That's pretty cool because it adds it from the graveyard too. And this is a little bit more relevant because magical dimension has actually seen some niche play. It's non-targeting removal for cards, so like that's neat. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, you can draw cards equal to the number of spellcaster monsters you control, then place the same number of cards from your hand on top of the deck in any order. That's pretty good. I mean, it's not any kind of plus or minus or anything like that. You're just drawing cards and replacing them. But if you say draw 2 or 3 cards, and then you put them back in order, a couple, or at least one of the, I think it's the spell card, the Dark Magic Circle, lets you look at the cards on the top of your deck and then like add one to your hand. So this could kind of like fix that, so you always get what you need. So you're really getting, like, you put 3 cards back, maybe you put back like 2 bricks and the 1 card you need, and then use the circle to see what you have and get that extra card back. So it could technically plus you that way, I guess. Not a bad card, and I like the other card. Timaeus, the Combination Dragon. Timaeus, the Dragon of Destiny. Level 8 Dragon, effect 2818. I didn't even look at the stats. Level 1. Oh, cool. That's a level 1. Level 1. That's good. That's neat. You can only use this card's name's effect once per turn. You can send one spellcaster monster or one spell trap that specifically lists the card Dark Magician in its text from your hand or field to graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. That's pretty cool. During your main phase, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, including at least one spellcaster monster. That's pretty good. Honestly, it's just like Timaeus, but better in almost every way. It puts a monster on board, so it's not dead if you just don't have the other pieces. Like, you can just summon a 2800 monster. At least it's something. He acts as part of the fusion for a couple of Dark Magician cards. So him and any Dark Magician can make most of the fusions. I like that. This I actually think we'll see quite a bit of play in Dark Magicians. How competitive Dark Magicians will be is a whole other story because it's probably not very competitive anyway. But I think he'll see play, and I think this thing will see some play. All right, we got a ritual. You can ritual summon this card with Chaos form. You can only use this card's name's first and second effect once per turn each. You can reveal this card in your hand, add Dark Magician or one non-ritual monster that specifically lists that card's name in its text from your deck to your hand, then place one card from your hand on top of your deck. I mean, that's fine. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon Dark Magician from your graveyard and negate that effect. I mean, that's fine. I don't think that's that good. I don't think that's that good. I mean, the search for a Dark Magician, like reveal a card and then just search it, like that's not terrible. It's a searcher, like it's not terrible, but I don't know. I don't think this is worth running Chaos Form for. Maybe you would run it just as itself and then just not play the Chaos Form, just to search Dark Magician. But I feel like you have better ways to search Dark Magician. You don't need this. This isn't that good. Super Magical Warrior, Dark Master of Chaos. Level 8, Dark Fusion, Dark Spellcaster Fusion, 3k, 2. Okay. So, that's decent stats. 1 Dark Magician and 1 Blackluster Soldier, Ritual Monster, or Chaos Ritual Monster. You can only use the 3 effects once per turn each. If this card is fusion summoned, you can target 1 light or dark monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Okay, so that's neat. You can tribute 1 light and 1 dark monster, banish all monsters your opponent controls. Well, that's just fucking broken. Like that. Okay, maybe not broken because you're giving up 2 cards to banish a field. That's still really good. That's non-targeting, non-destruction, banish. For 2 monsters, you could probably just tribute himself too. So if like you summon this with the Timaeus, you could use him to bring back Timaeus and then just banish your opponent's field. And at that point, you really haven't lost a whole lot of advantage. You discarded a card for Timaeus. Timaeus effect. It's too good. Yeah, I mean, you're probably going like -3 to activate that effect, but if you banish a board, maybe a Dark Ruler no more, negate everything, then do this. I mean, I guess it could break a board. I don't know. It's a really good effect. The tributes kind of suck, but the effect itself is still really good. I could definitely see this seeing some kind of play just based off those 2 effects. If this fusion summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 spell in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And that, again, that's just really good. Obviously, he wouldn't get it if he tributed himself for the banish all monsters, but he's a 3k just sitting on the field, and if he's destroyed in any way, you get to add a spell to your hand from your graveyard. So that's, I mean, that's 3 pretty strong effects. I could see this being good. And I don't think Dark Magician has too much trouble kind of swarming the field, at least enough to trigger that effect without banishing himself, especially since really all you would have to do is get 1 light or dark on the field and then just summon the other one back with whatever, because its fusion materials would count for the light and the dark. Like they could easily be both, so you could just summon it back and it not really matter. Yeah, I don't know. I like this. This is pretty good. Actually, wait, no. You can't use Timaeus for this, but you can use Timaeus' effect. So if you use Timaeus' effect, you could have Timaeus on the board, summon this, bring back the Dark Magician, then get rid of the Dark Magician and the Timaeus to trigger his effect. I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad. They're pretty good. I think all except this one are decent. Like, I don't think that this is adorable, but I don't think it's very good. The rest of them are pretty good. This one's not great, but after reading this one, it's not terrible either. I think there's a better ritual. I actually have some pages pulled up for that. But so here we have the Magical Dimension. We're just going to go by highest to low because we want to see. Yeah, so there's only 1 foil print for this, and that's the Turbo Pack Booster 2. The super rare at $43 right now. So prices are quickly climbing for these cards, or at least for that version. But there's just like a shit ton of commons. You can get this card common all day, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. This one is so this is the other ritual. There is a 3rd ritual, but I don't think I think the 3rd ritual, like, it negates. I know Megalith were playing it for a little bit. I think it negates all the opponent's monsters effects or something. We'll pull it up in a second, but this one's not bad. When this card is treated as Dark Magician on the field in the graveyard, When a spell, trap, card, or effect is activated, quick effect, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. So, like, that's pretty cool. And if this ritual summon card is destroy a battle or card effect, you can special summon another ritual from your hand. So the reason I brought this one up is because the new one lets you reveal to search a Dark Magician, and just having it in your hand, if like something happens to this, you could technically just like drop it on the field, and its effect would still be able to activate to negate a card effect. So it's not terrible. I don't think it's the most optimal. I still don't think the other card's the most optimal to play or anything like that, but that's not like horrible or anything like that. I forgot about Dark Cavalry. We're not going to worry about that too much. We'll see. Yeah, we'll click on it. Let's see. Is Dark Cavalry any good? Gains 100 attack for each spell trap on the field, and in the graveyard, this card attacks a defense position. It's piercing, quick effect. You can just wait. When a card or effect is activated that targets a card on the field, quick effect this card negate the effect and destroy. All right, that's not that good. I don't think that's that good. Don't think anyone's going to be jumping up to play Dark Cavalry. That's the one we looked at. I don't see the one. All right, and this one. This is the other card. I think that the Timaeus Dragon makes this way better. And I actually do think people will play this. This card's name becomes Dark Magician while on the field or in the graveyard. Your opponent cannot target spell and traps you control with card effect. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This is just a straight good card for Dark Magician. The only real issue with it is that you kind of have to play Timaeus to play it. But now with the new Timaeus, you wouldn't have to. You could just use the new Timaeus. Like, you don't need to spell Timaeus anymore. So this becomes way better. I know for a little bit this was just good as like a Zaborg target. You could just send it to the graveyard. Wiping your opponent's extra deck is always good with Zaborg. So Zaborg's effect to send everything to the grave, you would send this to the grave, and that would just it would just be cards to banish for Dark Magician in your grave. So I remember that being pretty good. Again, we're talking relative to Dark Magician here. Here's another good card. This card's going to be going up again. This card's always pretty expensive, so if you play Dark Magician, you probably just have that already though. If you don't, you're already behind. Let's see if we can find the other Dark Magician card though. Don't look at that. That was terrible spelling. Dark Magician. Okay, that's not the right card. I don't remember the card's name. Whatever. We can't find the other one. I don't remember its name. But there is another ritual that came in the Megatons. Was it 2019 Megaton? Gold section. Here we go. We'll check the Gold Sark tin. Maybe we'll find it there. Yep. All right. TC players down. Screw it. We're not looking anywhere. All right. So that's it. There's the other one. I think the other one might be decent, but I don't think it actually. I think it like needs to be someone on your opponent's turn for it to really do anything. If I'm not mistaken, that's how Megalith played it. You kind of like spit it out on your opponent's turn, and it stopped stuff from it negated monster effects or some shit. Anyway, I don't see that being a card you really would place like super heavy, but the rest of these cards seem pretty decent. Again, I think most of this will see play. I think this might be like okay as a one of, but I don't think it's that good. I think this is probably the best new card besides the Fusion, but I think like this, I can see you playing 3 of it just because it's an easy summon, and it can get the Dark Magician Fusion out quickly. And that Dark Magician Fusion does make your board a lot better. It's a really good card. It protects a lot of the cards that the Dark Magicians kind of need on the field to play. And then this thing is just... This is a solid card to have. Even if it's a one of them in your extra deck, it's still just a good card. I kind of hope there's more support because, honestly, this isn't going to fix Dark Magicians. Like, Dark Magicians are a very bad deck. This is not going to fix it. But it's a good start. So, hoping for more. That's pretty much it. Thank you.